right, so in this video, we are going to review a lake that I was very, very excited to go out and visit and definitely want to get back out to, and that is Lake Watson, just outside of Prescott, Arizona. Now, this lake is so strange and beautiful and scenic, and just really, it was a treat to go up there and visit this place. As you can see in these videos and these images, the characteristic part of this lake are these incredible boulder and kind of rock formations that surround the lake and also create these really cool little kind of scattered islands all throughout the lake. Now, on this day that we went out, as you can see, it was very overcast. We did have a lot of clouds, so not the kind of like picturesque, real sunny, bright skies reflecting off of the water and things like that that you see actually if you do some Google searches and look up other videos and images that are out there. When the sun is out, this lake is beautiful. But even with that in mind, a gray, cloudy, overcast day really didn't take too much away from the overall experience. It was still an incredible time, and we just had such a wonderful day out there on the lake. So in this video, I'm going to show you some images and videos from our trip, and then in the second half of the video, I'm going to go over some logistics on where to park, where to launch, how to get there, and a few different things to be aware of as you go out and paddle around Lake Watson. All right, so let me walk you through some of the logistics surrounding kayaking at Watson Lake. Very, very simple, but there are a couple of things to just kind of keep in mind. First, let's kind of get our bearings here, and I want to start us here at Prescott, Arizona, because that's kind of the main city that's near the lake. And then Watson Lake is actually just northeast of the city, just like maybe a 5-10 minute drive from downtown Prescott. Now, there's lots of places to stay in Prescott if you are going to do something overnight. We actually camped down here at the Lynx campground, and there's a very beautiful lake there called the Lynx Lake, and I've done a separate video on that trip as well. So when you're heading to Watson Lake, you're going to take the main road here that comes up from Prescott, which is Highway 89, and then you're going to see this roundabout here, and then you're going to head into the park entrance from there. There is a fee to park for the day. I can't remember how much it was. Maybe it's $10, give or take. It really wasn't much at all, so not a really big deal. There's a couple of different places to launch from. You can launch from this boat ramp down here, or you can launch from this ramp further north. Let me show you just a little bit about this lake, and that will kind of help you know which ramp to launch from. The real interesting part of Watson is this area up here, especially if you're on a kayak. This side of the lake is not really too different than what you might find at any other lake. And it's not like it's a huge paddle from this ramp down here up into this main area of the lake over here. But that's just something to keep in mind is that you do, if you are paddling, it is more ideal to launch from this ramp right here. Now, something else to consider. So when we came, we actually had a trailer with a whole pile of kayaks on it. This proved to be a little bit challenging because you can't actually park in this area right here. It's just for loading and offloading of kayaks or paddleboards. And so you have to come down here and unload, and then you need to go and park. Now, because we had a trailer, that was a little bit difficult because there really isn't any trailer parking up on this side of the park right here. All of the trailer parking is down at this ramp right here. Now, that's a fairly long walk from this parking lot all the way back over here. And I really didn't want to launch a kayak and paddle all the way around and meet everybody. So I did end up double parking up in this parking lot right here, and it looks like actually somebody else has done that in this image as well, but that is not me. So that's something to keep in mind if you do have a trailer, you're going to have to kind of get a little bit creative on what you do there. Now, this lake is not very big. So if you launched your kayak and then paddled the whole perimeter of this lake, you're looking at about 2.5 to 3 miles. Now, that's not counting heading out into this area of the lake. So you could make a day of it. You could come and launch and bring yourself a little lunch and just kind of follow the perimeter here, find a spot to hang out, eat some lunch. Again, as you'll find if you do any research on Watson Lake, you can't actually swim in this lake. There is a high level of mercury in the lake, which makes swimming in it kind of off limits. You can fish and you can eat fish that you catch from this lake. They just don't want you to swim in it. Now, another thing that I'll mention that we actually did not get a chance to do is there is a lot of really great hiking and trails along the lake. And I've heard especially good things about hiking down into this Granite Creek. Now, I've never done it. I'm not sure exactly the trail that takes you back there, but if you are interested in adding some hiking to your trip, I would definitely look into that and do a little bit of research on that as well. And so that's it. That's kind of the logistics of kayaking Watson Lake. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Just a couple of little things to keep in mind if you're heading out there.